In this episode, I want to show you how to make a delicious AIP compliant Gyro wrap. As a food blogger, we sometimes put recipes up that we think are good, but maybe not fantastic kind of things. But the flatbread and this Gyro wrap are one of the ones that I'm really proud of because they're so delicious and they're so versatile. I'm going to show you how to make this Gyro wrap, and I'm also going to kind of give you some hints on how to do it for batch cooking if you want to, say, freeze some for later, because these really make great delicious sandwiches that you can freeze the components like the flatbread and the Gyro meat itself, so that way you can just take them out whenever you may want them for a quick to-go lunch, or even a lunch at home, or even a dinner. And then all you have to do is just kind of cut up some cucumbers, make a quick tzatziki sauce, and if you want some onions in it or something, put some mixed greens or whatever in it, mix a really quick meal. Let's go ahead. I will show you how I make it. The first thing we're going to do is make the Gyro meat itself, because that takes the longest. So you're going to quarter a medium onion and then put that in the food processor along with 3 garlic cloves. You're going to process that into just small chunks. And then you'll add 1 pound of ground lamb and 1 pound of ground beef to the food processor as well. And then for spices, I really like this Primal Palette Super Gyro mixture. It is AIP compliant, so I add 2.5 tablespoons of that. But if you don't have that, you can do a tablespoon of dried thyme, a tablespoon of dried oregano, a teaspoon of dried rosemary, and 1.5 teaspoons of sea salt. And then just mix the mixture together in the food processor until it's smooth and kind of pasty looking. It'll be goopy. And then line a normal size bread pan with some parchment paper, and then scrape the mixture into the bread pan. Just pat it down as smooth as you can. It doesn't have to be perfectly smooth, just so it's not really lumpy on the top. And then you're gonna go ahead and put it in a 325 Fahrenheit oven for 60 minutes. While that's cooking, go ahead and make the tzatziki sauce. So you're gonna add 1 tablespoon of lemon juice to 1 cup of coconut cream, and then a ½ teaspoon each of garlic and onion powder, 1 teaspoon of dried dill or 1 tablespoon of fresh dill, a pinch of sea salt, and then a half of a cucumber that's been finely diced. You can peel it or not, it really is up to you. You're gonna mix the mixture together, and note that it's gonna be a little bit runny right now while it's out of the fridge. If you put it into the fridge for a while, it will definitely harden up. It may get a little too hard, so just take it out of the fridge to loosen up a little bit if you need to. If you're not having it right now, then put it in a container in the fridge for storage for later. Once the sauce is done, I will slice up some cucumbers and some red onions. This is totally up to you if you want to do this. If you don't want dragon breath, don't do this. And then I'll put those into a container as well for whenever I'm going to actually make the wrap. Then it's time to make the flatbreads. And go back to the video on how to make these AIP flatbreads to find out all of the ingredients and how to make them. But it's really simple. I like to make up a couple batches at a time, so that way I can freeze them for later and then just take them out whenever I need. Once the meat is done, take it out of the oven and let it either chill on your counter or in the fridge for at least 20 minutes. And then you want to slice them really thinly, maybe like 1/4 of an inch slices. Nothing too thick, and just slice the whole entire loaf. If you want to freeze your slices for later, just lay them out on a piece of parchment paper on a baking sheet, flat like this, and then put them in the freezer for a couple of hours. I'll show you in a minute what to do after this. And then to cook them now, you'll want to put some sort of fat into a pan over medium heat on the stove. Add your slices of meat and then cook for a couple minutes on each side until browned like this on both sides. And then all that's left to do is to assemble your wrap. Put a piece of flatbread down, add some mixed greens, that can be pretty much anything, lettuce or whatever, and then add your Gyro meat. And then the cucumbers, the onions if you're gonna use them. And the tzatziki sauce. And like I said, remember, it gets a little hard if it's been in the fridge for a while, so if you're having a really hard time spreading it, let it sit out for a couple minutes. And then just enjoy. Roll it up like a wrap and eat it. It's a little messy, but it's okay. You can also put it in parchment paper if you want to store it for later. This is a great option if you're gonna take it like with you to go for lunch or something. Just wrap it up like this. You could also just put it into a lunchbox and use a toothpick to kind of hold them down. And then I like plantain chips and olives as sides. And then remember when I said if you froze the meat, I would tell you what to do. So here, put a piece of parchment paper in between each of them, just to make sure that they don't freeze together after you've put them back in the freezer. And then put them into a plastic bag for storage. Or you can use another freezer safe container of your choice. I like to do the same thing with the flatbreads because they freeze beautifully as well. So just stack them with a piece of parchment paper in between. They don't have to be frozen first. And then just go ahead and put them into a plastic bag. And if you want to get super fancy, make yourself Gyro kits by putting the Gyro meat inside the same bag as the flatbreads. So that way you have a handy dandy kit to go whenever you need them. The process of cooking the meat from frozen is exactly the same as cooking it from fresh. Just put it in a pan with some hot fat or oil and cook until brown. It'll thaw really quickly in the pan. And that's really it. I mean, it's really simple to do. I hope you guys try this out because it is so good. And in my AIP only right now membership site, the Autoimmune Collective, I have several more wrap ideas. Not only the Gyro wrap, but also a ham and a quick fig jam wrap as well, a root and avocado mash wrap, and then a beetroot mash. It's kind of like beetroots and avocado and capers, and it's really delicious as well. You can get all the recipes for that inside of my membership site. I will put the link below, but you can go to the Autoimmune Collective. And make sure if you haven't already, go ahead and watch the AIP somewhere flatbread video, which will show you how to make the flatbreads, freeze them, and do all of that kind of stuff because they're so versatile. You can make any kind of sandwich with it that's gonna be AIP compliant, or if you're watching this because it's like nut-free or egg-free, I mean, it could use for many different diets. But go ahead and watch that, and I will see you guys next week.